Hey guys, so today we're going to look at dilating our lines. So for the first exercise, it says dilate CD by a scale factor of 2 in center O. Show the locations of the images of points C and D and describe the dilation. So whenever the center of dilation is not on our line, remember we are going to take our ruler and measure from O to C and go through. Then we're going to do the same thing from the center through D. Then we're going to take our compass. Whoops, let me delete that. Let me take our compass, put our needle at the center, and we're going to open the compass so that it's at C. We're going to make a marking. That's our first scale factor of 1, and that's our scale factor of 2. Now we're going to repeat the steps from the center to D. So we're going to put our needle in the center, open it up to D, and make a marking. Then we're going to keep that same opening and carry over our marking. And we're going to do that twice. Whoops, didn't mean to move that. So now I'm going to move our ruler over. And I'm going to label that C prime. And I'm going to label that D prime. And as always, we're going to connect from C to D, and we are going to draw in our arrows because the original image had arrows. So then it says describe the dilation. We should know that C prime, D prime is equal to the scale factor, which is 2 times the original length. And also we should remember that these two lines, C prime, D prime, is, going to be parallel to CD. Okay, so let's look at our second problem. So the second problem states we want to dilate RS by a scale factor of 2 in center O. And then we want to show the locations of the images of R and S and then describe our dilation. So for here, the center of dilation is actually on the original line. So we're going to pick one to start with. I'm just going to start with S. So I'm going to open my compass from the center of dilation O so that it's on S. Oops. And I'm going to mark it once. And then it's at a scale factor of twice, so I'm going to move it over and mark it again. That is going to be, our S prime. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the center of O, but now I'm going to measure to R. So put my needle at the center, open the compass so that it's the full length from the center to R, make my marking, and then I'm going to copy that over one more time because the scale factor is 2. So from here, I'm going to make that S prime and I'm going to make that R prime. And I want you guys to write down what you noticed. We want to describe that dilation. Okay, so looking at exercise 1 and exercise 2, I want you to write in here what you guys noticed. What happened when we dilated the line segment by a center that is on the line? You guys should have noticed that the image, which was R prime, S prime, is the original line. And that when the center of dilation is on the line, it remains the same. Now to the right, it says dilate by a center that is not on the line, which was our first example. In our first example, we should have noticed that the image is parallel to the pre-image. And that the image was also multiplied by the scale factor. to the original to create that image. And I want you to think about parallel in regards to slope. So please write this down. It's important. If the lines are parallel, the slope stays the same. Oops. Remember that dilations preserve parallelism. So let's move on to the back page of the worksheet. So we have the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that we should remember from either 8th grade or Algebra 1, and that's our y equals mx plus b. Remember that our m term represents the slope, which is going to be important when we're dilating lines, and our b term is the y-intercept. Okay, so let's look at our first example for this type of problem. So in exercise 3, it says given y equals 4x minus 7, we want to find the slope and the y-intercept. So here the problem is already in y equals mx plus b form, so we're just going to locate. Our m, or our slope, is going to equal 4, while our y-intercept, which is our b term, is going to equal negative 7. So now I want you to try this one. So we have given 4y plus 8 equals 2x, find the slope and the y-intercept. You should notice it's not in y equals mx plus b form. So before we go over it, I want you to do so, convert it into y equals mx plus b form, and then determine what your slope and your y-intercept is. The first thing that you should have done was move over the 8 so that your y's were by itself. So we have 4y equals 2x minus 8. And then again, we want to isolate that variable, which is y. So we're going to divide by 4. And you guys should have got y is equal to 1/2 x minus 2 as your final answer.